Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Weekend Tech. In this episode, I wanted to showcase something on the front end. This is a UI library that I was working on last month, as you can see from the commits. Not sure if you can hear it in the background. There's a bit of lightning and thunder. Yeah, so this is a web UI collection of components written with Svelte, and basically if you look at my current portfolio, which is on GitHub Pages, you can see that so all of these different capsules, these cards and these buttons, these are web components that I had written with Svelte, and basically these are also using the cards. There's this Instagram button that looks like a story. So what I mean to do is separate out all those different molecules and atoms into a UI library that I can that mostly has two goals. One being that these should be usable as web components, and the other one being that these can also be exported as Svelte components to use in Svelte and Sapper apps. So for the time being, I've started with really basic molecule, one being the button, and the other being a molecule which is a card, which is based on top of a button. So if I look at the storybook, which is basically a tool to showcase component and design systems. So here in the atom section, we have a button. You can see it has some hover CSS, some on focus styling. You can also add emojis. You can nest things within it with SVGs. If you look at the code, it takes the content as children props. It doesn't take it as literal strings. This is the way Storybook shows it, but in actuality it's just the child component. Also, there's a theme prop that I'm working throughout the different components that I'm going to build, meaning each of the components will come in either light or dark theme, and you can even provide a custom theme to set your accents and background colors. So this is the dark theme, and if the button is disabled, there's the disabled prop for that. And yeah, so this is the basic button. Based on the button, I've created something called as a card. So you see it also has that same hover feel. You can also create like a single line description. If you create a large long title and content, it wraps around. So that's like the two basic components that I've started with, and the goal is essentially to swap out all the current components that are on the portfolio that I've written with these components, so that it kind of makes things look a bit uniform. And since my root GitHub project, GitHub portfolio is mrsaurav.github.io, what I can do is, if I create any documentation for other repositories in my user, I can use these same components, and then in that way all the different documentation that I built will look very similar. And yeah, so this was a very quick look at how you can create UI libraries with Svelte. Well, I didn't really show you any code, but I've used it here, and if you want to go through it, this is how I've done it. Just a couple of Svelte files, some documentation with MDX, and it also uses TypeScript, so you can check that out. I had started with a TypeScript template, but by the time currently there's already TypeScript support built into Svelte, so probably need to update that. But yeah, this was a really quick look at how you can use Svelte to create web components and UI libraries. See you in another video. I wanted to do the Pomelo, an updated version of Pomelo's EF core provider for MySQL, but I'll pile that in for the upcoming weeks. Yep, later.